So I have Woodcraft axle sliders, right? And as far as the instructions says, it doesn't say you really need any tools. Maybe a Phillips. I have a Japanese screwdriver and some blue Loctite or medium strength Loctite. So this is the rear and that's the front. So Woodcraft, their slide is kind of, pretty trick, because they design it so that with the pin lock here, you can actually just unpin it, and you can remove the, once you crash, you can remove this and put on another one and put the pin back on. So it's fast, you could replace it real quick like that. But also, let's say for example you need to remove the wheel, you can actually remove this axle slider real fast too, just like that as well, really quickly as well, compared to other axle sliders. So let's open this up. The rear one. The rear other thing is, it's made in America. That's what I liked. Made in America. So, where all the innovation happens. Okay. So let's look at it. So one thing to note, if you look at the pin, how they put it on one side of the puck where the holes are, one side you see like a little pinhole right there. I'm sure you guys can see that or not. Let's see if this thing can focus. See a little pinhole right there where the tip of my thumb is. So that little pinhole there, that side needs to be where the short end of the pin, this big end right here has to be on the opposite side. Right. So basically, what it needs is that this ball here on your pin has to be closer to where that pin is right there. So that's important to understand, because why they have that is that because this ball needs a groove. Inside here, the ball needs a groove so that it can sit in. Otherwise, if it's just completely flat, it'll be pushed in, and this pin could slide out easily. So that groove is on the side of where that pin is right there. Okay. So let's look at that, and basically, you just slide it out just like so. All right. Same thing with this side. Pull it out, slide it off like so. Now I have my my axle, and actually, obviously, there's two different sides to it, two different shapes. So one will have, one will be for one side, and the other will be for the other side. So let's put this on. Let's install it. Okay. Let's go to my wheel here. So looking at this thing, it looks like this will be on this side, and I believe this is on the other side. Just by looking at the size of the hole here. Let's look at it. Let's see how this thing slips on. Spin it off. Alright. And it fits. Yeah, it fits in there. It's a perfect fit. Doesn't wiggle too much. Whereas this other one, obviously this is a big, if you look at it, it's a big giant bolt. It's an Allen bolt. So that's interesting. I need to go get an Allen head. And obviously this one doesn't fit because it's too big. Alright, so basically slip it in from the other side. On this side, this hole is bigger, right? So this Allen head looks like it's a in here. This Allen head looks like it's a, this is like a 6mm. It might be a 5 or 6. Anyways, slip it in. Slides. See that? It slides in. All right, slip it in there. Thing slides in. This side, basically, you gotta screw it on. I actually need to go get an Allen bolt. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to Loctite this. I need to Loctite the threads. Wrong thread. So let me go get some Loctite and Allen bolt. I'll be right back. Well, actually I have my Loctite, but I'm gonna get Allen. I got my Allen. So yeah, it's a 6mm, and here you could use like a screwdriver, number 2 Phillips, and that will, you know, you can tighten it that way. Let's see, where's my Loctite? Always shake up the Loctite. A lot of people don't do that. You have to shake up the Loctite. And I'm gonna put a little bit here. I won't put too much. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the far half of it. That's it. That's more than enough. I think I might have put too much. Okay. You start to stir again. So one thing that Woodcraft mentioned is that, you know, because this axle bolt, or this bolt here, it's pretty precise. It's very straight. It's very true. One thing they mentioned is that potentially your axle could be somewhat bent slightly. You know, if it's new in good condition, it should be straight. But sometimes people, you know, when people are taking the wheel on and putting it back on, they have a hard time sliding the axle through, and sometimes they just take a hammer or a mallet and bang on the thing, and that potentially could cause the axle to kind of tweak a little bit and bend a little bit. If that happens, this axle bolt will not want to slide through because it's just because of that bend. So when that happens, Woodcraft says to, you know, find where the high spot is, and file it down. And obviously I don't need to do that because you know, you can see that I actually slid my through already, so no problems there. All right. So I'm not doing it too tight. I'm just as far as where, yeah, I just use this to hold this part still. I'm just holding it where my hand is right here. It's just like if I had an Allen key. You know, I'm not holding it all the way down here. You know, that's how you strip the heads. Allen has, you know, stripped pretty easily. So I hold it right here, just like if you had an Allen key. Oh, one thing I've got to make note of was how to orient. And actually, I didn't orient the this hole here. So both of these are the same, you know, either side. Same with the pins. Woodcraft says, you know, if you were racing or you take your bike out to the track, Woodcraft says to make it so that the pin, how it holds, how it goes in, right? How it goes in is that this side here should be oriented so that it faces down like this, and when you tie it, you need to tie it so that it ties in a the wire will tie in a clockwise direction. So basically it pulls that way and down. So then that way, you know, if you do crash or whatever and you're sliding, thing will slide forward like this, like so, and it tightens. It stays tightened on here. So actually my orientation is good if I want to do that, but you know, this, you know, this bike's not necessarily meant for the track. I just have it for actually I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna do it the opposite. I'm gonna do it this way. just because I'm not putting in a safety pin, or not a safety pin, but I mean I'm not putting in a safety wire. So I'm gonna want my pin to be towards the top, just in case if whatever reason this thing could potentially slide out. You know, if it was facing down, it potentially could slip downwards. But this way it doesn't, you know, it's not able to slip down. It just stays up like that. Actually, I should actually readjust this so that, or reorientate this so that the it's going in a slightly different direction. Let me orient so that it goes. Let's need to loosen the bolt a little bit. I want to orient it so that way it's like that. For the purpose of you know, if I wasn't using safety wire. Alright, so if I wasn't using safety wire, I'm gonna orient it this way. That way it doesn't, you know, this head will always fall down, so that way it doesn't come back up. And slightly forward, just, you know, that way wherever it always pushes down this way, instead of going out that way. I think it's okay. Or you probably orient it, you know, at a 12 o'clock as well. But if you did use a wire, safety wire, Woodcraft says to orient it so that way it's down like this, and the safety wire hook this way, so that way it could tighten it, you know, self-tightening basically. All right, that makes sense, hopefully. So same thing with the other side. Other side. Oh, the sun's coming out. Wow, that was quick. That was hot. Other side. Well, actually, these things are not universal. Each side has a separate shape. But anyways, again, remember that little pinhole right there. That tells you that that's the bottom side where the ball is. And I'm gonna do it like that. That's it. Like so. That's it. That's how it looks. Right. So that's pretty easy, huh? Pretty easy, pretty fast. Alright, so thanks for watching.